feeling the bite of the blistering cold, and it's expected to get worse before it gets better. The sub-zero temperatures pose a deadly risk to the local homeless population, and the situation is especially dire since Boston has yet to come up with a permanent replacement for the Long Island shelter that was shuttered back in October. WGBH News reporter Craig Lamolt has more.
Just outside Copley Square, Chester Ross says it's been a tough day to panhandle.
It's hard. It's very hard. You know, I haven't eaten yet, so I know my sugar's low right now. I haven't made enough money to eat. And, you know, a lot of people, they're too cold to stop. You know, they don't want to stop and help you. So it's hard.
Ross spent last night in a homeless shelter.
But then they kick you out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Where do the homeless people go at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Jay, who didn't want to share his last name, says he doesn't like staying in shelters. He spent last night out in the cold.
You really don't get any sleep. You know, your subconscious is still, you're asleep, but you're awake at the same time. You're aware of everything that's going around you.
He knows tonight's supposed to be even colder.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a good idea to be in a shelter tonight.
It's a decision a lot of the area's homeless are facing. At the Pine Street Inn in Boston's South End, more than 100 people slept in the cafeteria and lobby last night because the shelter's 700 beds were full. And they transported more than 100 homeless people to other shelters.
I think all told, there should be enough capacity through the system. We just have to make sure that we get people to the right places.
Barbara Trevison of Pine Street says they've seen a significant increase in their numbers since the city closed its shelter on Long Island.
Everybody's goal is just not to turn anyone out into the cold, so we all do everything we can to ensure that somebody has a place to stay.
David Penny has been living at the Pine Street Inn for about a year. He says he's been outside on some nights like this in the past, and he never wants to do it again.
On a night like tonight, you have a good chance of dying. It's a very good chance of dying on a night like tonight. So I pray to God that don't happen.
And the people I talked to at the shelter today, Adam, told me that if you do see someone out tonight, that you should call 911 because it is an emergency situation. It's just not safe to be out in these temperatures.
So on a night as cold as tonight is expected to be, why would anyone voluntarily not go to a shelter if they had that option?
For some people, it's an issue of mental health, and you can't force someone inside on a cold night like this, although police and EMTs are going to be keeping their eye out for people and encouraging them to come in. For others, they just don't like shelters. You know, either they feel that it's unpleasant or unsafe, and some people just don't like the rules. There's all kinds of rules for staying at a shelter, rules about alcohol and other things like that. But the people at the shelters that I spoke to today said that on a night like tonight, they are willing to relax some of those rules just to get people inside.
Okay, Craig Lamolt, thank you.
You're welcome.